Welcome back to another video today, ladies and gentlemen. And I just came across this video because there's a lot of gloom and doom out there. There's a lot of, how would you say, snowflakery, just, you know the types, okay? People that think that everything is gloom and doom. People think that somebody else is the cause of their problems, right? So today I wanted to show you guys some prosperity. There was a guy that I saw in particular in this video who I want to show you guys. And then there's also some, I don't know, it's almost like the like Elon Musk's little, what did he call it, the woke mind disease or something, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys just a little bit of some affirmation, right, for people out there who aren't buying into this mainstream narrative. Because when they put black folks on TV, who do they put on TV? They put on somebody who's either angry, they put on somebody who's gonna parrot some narrative that we need outside help, right? We need somebody from the government to come help us, or we need to stick together and huddle together, you know, buy black, things like that. But there's a guy in here who he's very counter to that narrative, and I just wanted to send you guys out there some affirmation that if you are whoever, it doesn't matter who you are, that you can make it. Okay, so you guys will see what I mean when we get to this guy, but let's just watch this video. America's black upper class, rich, successful, and empowered.
Period.
So how is this new black bourgeoisie faring? What's the secret to their success? Some entrepreneurs are establishing businesses to support black communities.
To turn the table and say no longer will we buy white, but it's time for us to buy black. I
never really agree with that notion, and it's funny, he almost said support. He was about to say support. No longer will we support white. It's just, you know, here's my what would you call it, litmus test if something is racist. Imagine a white person saying that and replace the word black with white, okay? Imagine a white person saying, I'm only going to go to white-owned businesses. Imagine, I don't know, a Jewish person saying, I'm only going to go to Jewish businesses. I'm only going to date white people, right? I only want my children to date white people, which I think this lady right after here basically goes on and says.
Make a conscious effort to stay within the black community in all areas of life.
I prefer her to date a black person. I want her to date a black person.
That's just weird to me. That I don't see how some people don't see that as racism. But if you, like, imagine this, imagine you're a black kid and you walk into some, you know, white household and they say, well, I prefer my daughter to date a white person. You'd be like, that's racist, right? But then when it goes the other way, then it's somehow it's not. Anyway.
Black excellence isn't limited to athletics and popular music.
Okay.
It's also at home in the world of business and the professional elite.
I don't know how somebody's shaking their ass is black excellence, but we're about to get to our guy that we're looking for.
Don Peebles is a black entrepreneur who made his way to the top.
I just finished with Irving, but he has assured me that he'll have it finished this weekend.
Peebles is a property developer and one of the richest African Americans in the United States. His estimated net worth is $700 million. He's a staunch believer in capitalism as the path to success.
I see capitalism first. I see the massive amount of development and the massive amount of people working and doing business. It reminds you of, you know, how America was built based upon capitalism. And then I see great opportunity.
Originally from Washington, D.C., and the son of a civil servant and a real estate broker.
I kind of want to run that part back right there.
First, I see
So I appreciate this about this guy. He sees capitalism. He sees the massive amount of opportunities. I mean, you just look out over this New York landscape and you see so much opportunity. He's a property developer and he's just seen so much money come in from his business, right? And a lot of what we see in the media is this country was built on slavery. We need reparations, you know, things of that nature, right? Things that are, I mean, whatever. Say what you will about it, but if you took even all of the billionaires' money, redistributed it, I think my good buddy Todd Baldwin had a good video about this.
There are many people that want to see all of the billionaires taxed so that instead of having billions of dollars, they have zero. And the purpose of this tax redistribution is that all of the billionaires' money would be evenly distributed across every citizen on the planet. So here's what that would actually look like. Worldwide, there are roughly 2,000 billionaires. When you take all of those billionaires and you combine their net worth, that equates to $8.5 trillion. Now, most of this wealth is not liquid. It's in the form of businesses or assets. But for sake of argument, let's just say the full $8.5 trillion was in liquid cash. Well, if you take $8.5 trillion and you divide it evenly across all 7.7 billion people on the planet, that means that everyone in the world gets a check for $1,100. Not $11 million, not $11,000, $1,100.
I think he said if you took all of the billionaires' wealth and you redistributed it amongst all the people, it would be about $1,100 a person, which has already happened when we did our little stimulus checks, right? And what did people do with those? They either paid their rent, which went right back to their landlord, or they went and they bought, I don't know, whatever crap. Maybe they paid their rent. Maybe they bought an iPhone. Maybe they bought a Gucci belt, whatever. But the money sticks to people who have the sticky, the money sticks to people who it's sticky to, right? Who know what to do with it, who know how to save it, who know where to invest it. So anyways, and you look at this New York landscape, and you really have to truly ask yourself, how much of this was built by slavery? Where do you see the legacy of slavery, right? You can make an argument that this guy could have been held back by racism, but he'll kind of get back into that later, right? Because he was born earlier on. He was born during Jim Crow. So let's get back to the video.
Massive amount of development and the massive amount of people working and doing business. It reminds you of, how.
Like even just look at the view, right? The media wants you to look at this massive city with all these jobs and all these people doing business. And what they want you to see, they wanted to put the spectacles over your eyes so that you see a legacy of slavery. You see that you need them. You need the media. You need to stay up on your news. You need the government to send you money. You need more welfare. This guy saw something completely different, and now he's worth $700 million. Okay?
America was built based upon capitalism. And then I see great opportunity.
Originally from Washington, D.C., and the son of a civil servant and a real estate broker, he became a real estate agent at 22. He bought his first building soon after and was a millionaire by the time he turned 30.
That's really what it's all about. A lot of people will say, it's all about building your first 100K, or it's all about building your first million. This guy, when he was 30, he had his first million. Okay, now he's worth 700 million. So it's really getting that starting off capital so that you can really start snowballing and making bigger and bigger deals and making better and better returns. Because when you can come with that type of capital, you can really make some big returns, right? You can start making bigger deals.
I grew up during a time of transition in America, during the civil rights movement in the United States. And so I got a very good sense that anything was possible. What I've accomplished in terms of business has been far greater than what my expectations were. Okay? All right. Talk to you later.
Peebles has constructed buildings and even entire neighborhoods all over the country. He's been nicknamed the Black Donald Trump. He's part of the elite. His own apartment is a testament to his wealth. At more than 600 square meters, it's decorated with numerous works of art. It also features 3 bedrooms, a huge dressing room for his wife, and a 360-degree view of Manhattan.
I actually looked this up earlier. 600 square meters is 6,400 square feet. Okay, so it's a pretty big apartment. Nice little penthouse. And he gets to spoil his wife. So, who doesn't want to spoil their wife? I hope you guys out there want to spoil your wife. Assuming you have wife, you're a male, whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean.
The apartment itself is valued at an estimated $35 million. Don Peebles has joined the ranks of America's most powerful entrepreneurs.
How are you?
But he keeps his priorities in check. No matter how busy his schedule, he still makes time for his weekly lunch date with his wife.
Okay, so we're going to 138 Lafayette.
They met when he was 27 years old. not long after he'd made his first $1 million.
I was driving in Washington through an area and saw her jaywalking the street, and so I introduced myself, and the next day I invited her to New York, and she came with me, and then the rest is history.
Did you ever feel any scrutiny to marry a white woman?
No, I mean, I married who I loved. I mean, again, I'm multicultural and multiracial, so I think people should, date and marry who they love, regardless of race, gender, etc.
A New York.
Yeah, I love that. I love that answer to that question, because personally, I've dated all types of women. I've dated Hispanic women, white women, black women, Filipina, and it doesn't really matter to me, right? It's more for me. It's more about the connection and the attraction, right? So I like his answer there. It doesn't matter if you're gay. It doesn't matter if you're, man, woman, right? You should date who you love. And it's kind of weird that we even have to still address that as a society. And I'll just say it. If you are black and you date a white woman, you will be called an Uncle Tom. It's just how it works. And it's kind of funny because I had that situation where I dated a white woman. The woman before her was Filipina. The woman after her was Mexican. And it's like, for me, there's really no correlation there, whether I'm going to like you or not and your race. But some people just don't understand that, and they like to stay in their, whatever. They like to stay in their little box.
And a relationship that's lasted 3 decades. Today, they've chosen to meet in an upscale French restaurant. Katrina is a former model from America's white upper class. Though she's a businesswoman, she's completely devoted to her husband and their 2 children.
30 years ago, I met my husband and I explained his character and his demeanor to my mother. She said, if you marry a fisherman, don't be surprised if he goes fishing. And I've kept that with me all my life because he is a consummate business person. He's an entrepreneur. So there's no on and off button.
And I think I'm going to end it there, but I really like that quote from his wife. If you marry a fisherman, don't be surprised if he goes fishing, right? I've had that situation with me, with, ex-girlfriends where I tell them, hey, I'm hardworking. I like to work. I plan to be very rich one day. And, they're surprised when I'm working on weekends. They're surprised when I'm working 16 plus hour days, right? So lessons that I take away from this is, hey, like she said, if you marry a fisherman, don't be surprised if he goes fishing. Be a fisherman, right? Don't be a victim. Be a fisherman. Have a strong marriage. It's going to lead you to success. Have a strong partner who's smart, partner who's supportive. Don't worry about what people have to say about the way you dress. Don't worry about what people have to say about the way you talk. And quite frankly, there's some people out there who are just idiots and are not worth listening to. All right. And a lot of them want you to think that you're a victim. A lot of them want you to think that you can't have the life that this gentleman has here. And I've just gotten to the point where, I'm not massively successful like him, but the more successes I start to pile up, the more I realize that some people just aren't worth listening to. All right. There's a lot of a movement out there of, you're not validating my experiences, or basically it's a way for people who are wrong to say you're being disrespectful to me. But like I said, I'll say it one more time and then we'll close out the video. Some people are just not worth listening to, and just block them out. And you're going to make it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and go watch this whole video. Make sure you go watch Todd's whole video about what would happen if we redistributed all the wealth of the billionaires. And I'll see you guys in the next video.